Okay, I know you're all in some very, very deep, important conversations right now. And I'd love to let you keep talking all night, but we've got to move to the next segment. So if I can get everybody's attention up here, please. Everybody up here, please. We need to move to the next segment.
That means you, Waldman.
So has this been valuable for anybody? Yes? Did you get to meet and talk to some people that maybe gave you some insight or some connection or feel a sense of community here at all? Yes? Okay, good. Well, what we're going to do here, we're going to do a little bit of a surprise. I'd like every one of our presenters who's here tonight, Mark Waldman, to come up to stage here. Dr. Robert McDonald, if you could come up and join us on stage here, please. Dr. Jameis Sheridan, if you could join us on stage. All of our presenters who are here on stage, we can come here. Mr. Burton Goldberg, Bill Henderson, we can have Bill Henderson come on stage here, please. Nick Delgado, Dr. Delgado, Chris Ward. Yes, Dr. Lee Aaron Keneally. Dr. Cheryl Selman, please, yes. How are you? Nice to meet you. I know. Dr. V, Mr. Bill Henderson. Here's the party up here. All right, do we have everybody up here? Let's see. Okay, yes, I think we're good. All right, so these fine ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Paul, yes, please join us here. Have came here this weekend to share with all of us, to give us their insights, their latest research and findings, their experiences, their stories, the things that are going to help us to solidify this and integrate this and learn throughout the weekend. So you're going to hear presentations from all of these amazing, beautiful people this weekend. Please give them a huge round of applause here. And if you can, please, those of you grab a seat. Go ahead and grab a seat in the back. Those of you standing, find a seat. We're going to finish with a beautiful performance here by Jeanette Alexander as well. And what I'd like to do is have each of you just share 30 seconds of what you're going to be sharing here this weekend with the attendees. Not to put you on the spot or anything.
No, not at all. Not at all. Thank you, Nathan. What I'll be sharing with you hopefully on Sunday is what I've learned from about 5,000 cancer patients that I've been working with for the last 14, 15 years. They've taught me why people get cancer and how they get over it, and I'm going to try and share that with you. Okay.
You should give your name.
Your name.
Bill Henderson.
I'm Bill Henderson, pardon me.
Thanks, Bill. I'm Robert McDonald, and tomorrow at 10:30 I'll be talking about the basic conflict that seems to be at the foundation of from colds to cancer. Virtually every kind of illness, there's a basic conflict that goes on, which I've been working with and helping people to resolve that in order to reduce or eliminate the stress. About 80–90% of illnesses seem to be related to stress, chronic stress that then compromises the immune system. What we want to do is address that stress and resolve it, not only reduce it, but resolve it. So I'll be talking about that and the many ways in which the mind is involved with that. So I'll be talking about body, mind, emotions, and spirit. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Paul Leendertz, and thanks for sharing that. I'm not sure how to follow up that because, well, I guess it's perfect because what I'm here to share is a paradigm shift in the view on what cancer is, which is very powerful because what I'm showing is that our whole theory on cancer is actually the root problem. So once we start looking at the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual realm, which you were talking about, and we start identifying the stressors in each of those realms, then we can get to the true root of it. And until we do that, cancer will continue to grow because what I'll be sharing is cancer actually has a purpose in the body. So I'll go into that in more detail on Sunday.
I'm so glad I'm at this conference because I can listen to all these amazing people. I'm Cheryl Selman, and I'm going to be talking on Sunday morning on the role of epigenetics and nutrigenomics in personalizing nutrition and supplementation to address the inherited Achilles heels genomically that we brought in and how to compensate. And the amazing research on epigenetics and how it's showing that our genes are responding to our environment, our food, our thoughts, our emotions, and meditation, and how we can really alter our gene expression to optimize our health and healing.
I'm Mark Waldman, and I will support that by taking you through a 60-second exercise that will actually demonstrate how epigenetics works by turning on 1,200 stress-reducing genes so that you can all experience them firsthand. I will then bore you with 400 studies showing you what the most effective cause for disease and cancer and prevention of it is. The good news is I will do that in less than 5 minutes, I promise you that. I will then guide you through another sets of exercises that are absolutely essential for that cure. And of course, the one thing I will always talk about is the #1 cause for cancer, but I've just used up my 30 seconds, so.
I'm Nick Delgado. I'm here to share with you the critical balance of your hormones. Everyone has particular hormonal imbalances, whether it be estrogen metabolism issues or they're not actually getting the conversion of testosterone that the body needs, the adrenal function. We look at how nitric oxide helps to fight cancer. We look at CBD. I'm going to give you about 50 different treatment modalities that you can integrate effectively and easily and follow. Actually, we use a pair of glasses. They get you into a hypnotic state, a theta state, so you absorb in 12 minutes every morning as you listen to these. And they're program scripts that it took me 35 years working with Tony Robbins, NLP, timeline therapy, neurolinguistic programming, so that every one of you can, within 7 sessions, start adopting a superb diet, exercise program. Because the biggest challenge that every cancer doctor has is not teaching you the therapy that you need to do. It's showing you how to follow the therapy that you've been given. So I'm going to show you how to follow that therapy. It took me 35 years to figure that out. You could go to a hypnotherapist every day of the week. You could go to some great therapists. It costs you a lot of money. It wouldn't be too practical unless you carried them home with you. So I'm going to show you how to carry it home with you and make it happen for you. Nick Delgado.
I'm Jameis Jarrett, and there's certainly a lot of awesome lectures and speakers. I wish I could go to them all. I'll be talking about what I think are some of the most important dietary and other factors in cancer, including the microphone I'm holding right now, which is a Wi-Fi. I'll have my meter on this screen, and I'll show you exactly what it's doing in the sea of Wi-Fi we're all living in and how to mitigate and control that while still living in the modern world. I'll also be talking about some other very controversial things, including sugar. There's information that sugar promotes cancer, which is accurate, but yet when people do natural whole food sugars, they overcome cancers. There's a huge understanding and misunderstanding that needs to be explained that could literally save your life. I'll also be going over some hormonal things, including xenoestrogens versus phytoestrogens and how naturally occurring phytoestrogens are phenomenal for you, but in isolation or xenoestrogens, they can hurt you. I'll also be going over some aspects about raw foods. Lots of raw foods diets are very popular now. I was one of the early pioneers. 100% raw food diets are not always successful, and I'll tell you why and why that some whole food cooked foods can be important. I'll also be talking about something I call IPB. Many of us have heard of insulin potentiated therapy, where you get insulin to lower the blood sugar, and you get very small doses of the same chemotherapy agents that doctors use in large doses without that. It's more effective because the insulin gets lower, then they give you sugar, and the sugar carries the chemotherapy into the cancer, so you have less chemotherapy, less adverse effects, and more beneficial effects. However, there's something you still have some toxicity effects because you're having chemotherapy. I'll be talking about IPB, which is a therapy which you will be doing, that you can do the same thing except instead of using toxic chemotherapeutic agents, use natural botanical substances like resveratrol, EGCG, and other natural food products instead of the chemotherapy. It's a huge advancement in IV cancer therapy. And I'll also be talking about things you can do practically without having to do IV.
Hi, my name is Chris Wark, and I'll be telling my story tomorrow, talking about how I healed stage 3 colon cancer 10 years ago, and sort of the journey that took me on. Also, how to identify the causes of cancer. It's important to know what causes cancer so that you can heal it, Because if you don't understand what causes it, you cannot heal it. So that's pretty critical. I'll be talking about the anti-cancer diet that I followed, and the latest nutritional science when it comes to foods that fight cancer.
Hi, my name is Elaine Gibson, and I beat stage 4 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma without traditional protocols. I will be teaching you, thank you. I will be teaching you what I learned. I now teach how to make extraordinary health very easy, and I will be sharing with you the 3 secrets that you need to know, but probably do not. Sunday at 1 o'clock.
Hi, I'm Dr. Véronique Desonnier, better known as Dr. V, and I'm a breast cancer conqueror. And Saturday afternoon, I'll be talking about 7 essential steps in order to prevent and heal cancer naturally. We know one of the things that people come up to me and talk to me about, like this evening, they're confused, frustrated, and overwhelmed because there's so much information out there. But really, when you follow the natural, simple laws of the universe and of nature, healing can be very simple.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Leerin Keneally. I am a medical doctor, and I practice what they call integrative medicine. Integrative medicine is combining the best of conventional Western medicine, what we have available today, and combining it with every kind of complementary alternative medicine that is out there. And tomorrow, first thing in the morning, I will be talking about how do you know if you have cancer, how cancer works, and how you're going to win. And so I've been practicing for 30 years. My census is over 35,000 patients. So I've learned a few things. And how I got into this is my mother took DES when she was pregnant with me in the 50s. And so your mess becomes your message.
I'm Burton Goldberg, and I'm going to tell you how corrupt this government is. When you separate the emergency room and trauma from degenerative disease, you have doctors that are guilty of crimes against humanity.
He's old enough to tell us all.
Hi, I'm Helene Waldman. I'm a holistic nutritionist. I authored a book a couple of years ago called The Whole Food Guide for Breast Cancer Survivors, but it's really not just about breast cancer because it's really about any solid tumor. I think I'm going to be talking about some of the same things Dr. Selman mentioned, a little bit of basic nutrition, a little bit about epigenetics, but I'm going to spend some time focusing on a question that oncologists ask all my clients all the time, and you've probably been asked as well, which is, well, if this stuff was so great, where are the studies? So I'm going to share with you some studies that I came across that are really, really compelling that you might want to look up and print out and take with you to your doctor and say, here they are.
I'm Loren Lorino, lovingly known as Dr. Ren, America's naturopathic sweetheart. I am a board-certified naturopath through the American Naturopathic Medical Board. And if I have the opportunity to speak this weekend, I will be speaking on biophotonics and cancer, as in life, light, and cancer, looking at all dis-ease as an energy imbalance and how to work with it as such. So thank you, everyone, for your attention. To everyone up on this stage, we are so grateful and thankful to have you. And we would like to ask you if you could please take your seats so we can introduce the next act. So our ears are about to be graced by an award-winning composer-pianist. She has 3 CDs to her name, and her music has been featured on radio, TV, commercials, and even on airlines. Now, when I found out she was featured on airlines, I made certain to make frenzies with my pilot during my 5-hour flight on the way over from New Jersey. I asked him to play my favesy by Jeanette called Full Moon Circle on repeat. Can we get a couple keys of that one? Yeah, that's it. Did you know I got to listen to that song 75 times during my 2,800-mile flight over here? Well, when the other passengers started getting a little antsy, I said, don't worry about it. You can download it on JeanetteAlexandermusic.com, and we even have some of her CDs right outside this door tonight as well. At least it induced alpha brainwaves instead of the type of brainwaves a screaming baby would induce, right? So let's give one of those round of applause, standing ovations for Jeanette Alexander.
Well, I think I will play Full Moon Circle. For those of you who know music, music comes in a circle of fifths, and I've studied music and the effects of music therapy on health, and a lot of cancer patients have used my CDs and have written to me and told me that they have gotten feeling better and better, and actually some of them have gone into remission by listening to my music. So this one here is called Full Moon Circle. Thank you. So when I first started writing the music, it was instrumental in nature, and my CDs have violin and cello and guitar. And I found that when people listened to them, they would get they would be healed, and so they would buy the CDs and give them to their family members or their friends that had illnesses such as cancer and all kinds of different diseases. And so I started thinking about the keys of the music that I would play the songs in. And they are related to the chakras. If you're familiar with the chakras, there's 7 chakras. Well, each of the chakras has a keynote on the musical scale. C being the first chakra, the root chakra, and then D, and then E, and F is the solar plexus. So any song that would be in the key of F, you'd feel in your heart. Then there's G, A, and then B. So I found that I was writing a lot of my songs in certain keys, not really knowing this. And then what I found out was that they had specific keys. So I want to play a song for you that I wrote called Common Ground, and it's a song about forgiveness and acceptance. And it's on my CDs as instrumental, but as a special thing tonight, I'm going to sing the words to the song. Sorry about that. I'm not used to having this here. This is in the key of F. Love is a mystery that's born to be alive in you and me, and free, just like the mountains and the sea. It stands when dreams fall down, it's always around, oh, it can be found where deep and flowing rivers live inside of me. Soothing every part, it mends the broken heart inside you, inside me. And as you look into the distance, may you delight in what you find, and look back with loving kindness at all you've left behind. And as you go upon your journey, this new road that you have found, take some time. There's always time to look around. May forgiveness be our common ground. As you look in the distance, may you delight in what you find, and no longer be burdened by all you've left behind. you. So then I started writing songs that had to do with God and love and peace and joyful feelings of prayer. So this next one is kind of a fun song. It's in the key of C, in the root chakra, and it's called When You Pray. I was writing this, I had this little verse on a Bible that was something that said, knock and the door, everything you seek you shall find, and knock on the door and you will, it will come to you. So this is a verse from Matthew, and it goes like this: when you pray. When you pray, when you pray, God hears you. When you pray, God hears you. Keep on asking, and you will be given to. When you pray, when you pray, everyone who seeks shall find, and the door will be open. You're looking for peace of mind. All the questions in your mind, and all the answers you will find. With everyone you ask, receives. When you pray, God hears you. When you pray, God listens. Everyone who seeks shall find, and the door will be open. You're looking for peace of mind. God knows all the questions in your mind, and all the answers you will find. For everyone who asks, receives. When you pray, God hears you. When you pray, God listens. When you pray, God loves you. When you pray. So this next piece is a piece I wrote called Setting Sail. And on the CD, it has violin and cello and guitar, and it's a reflection on life and how we think it's going to go one way, like you're going out on a sail and you expect it to be, nice weather and the winds just going just right. But as we all know, sometimes the weather changes and our life goes a different way, and we have to adapt and change and tact and change routes. So this is my musical rendition of when that happens, and it's called Setting Sail. Thank you. Setting sail. So how many of those times have you felt that your life was going off and coming back and going through what I call the eye of the storms, and then they come back? So I'm going to do a song that I particularly like to do. It's my rendition. I find that love and it heals so much of what ails us, and some of us need real love in our lives. And I'm actually going to be doing a workshop with Greg Bear on real love. And so I took Van Morrison's song, which is called Crazy Love, and you probably know it, and I changed the words to Sacred Love. And so if you, during the chorus, if you want to sing along, feel free to do that. And I changed the words a little bit to reflect sort of a spiritual path. And a lot of, believe it or not, the lyrics that he comes up with work really well. So this is Sacred Love. I can hear God whisper from 1,000 miles, and the heavens open every time God smiles. It's when I know I'm where I belong, then I run into bliss like a river song. Gives me love, 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 sacred love. God gives me love, 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 sacred love, yeah, yes. Got a fine sense of humor when I'm feeling low down, and I look to God when the sun goes down. Takes away my troubles, takes away my grief, takes away my heartache in the night with relief. Gives me love, 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 sacred love. Gives me love, 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 sacred love, yeah, yeah. I need spirit now when you hear that song, you may think of that. This is one of mine called Peaceful Path, and it's the opening song on my CD called Walk in the Sun. I'm originally from Seattle, and I moved down to San Diego about 2 years ago because I was getting a little bit affected by the weather up there in terms of my emotions, and I had the seasonal affective disorder, and I needed to get down to the sun. And so this is called Peaceful Path. Thank you. So there was a couple of songs that I played while Mark Walden was doing the poems, and in case you wanted to know. The first poem he wrote was about the chickpea, and that was a song I wrote called Storyteller. And I say that I think I wrote that song kind of in Italian. Because it reminds me of this little Italian village where you're telling your story. There's a little shortened version of that. And the other poem that he did, no, the meditation was two songs of mine. One was called Rain, inspired by Seattle. So the type of music that you listen to is important to your health as well. So I notice that when I play certain keys of the music, I feel more, and so I encourage you to take a listen to my CDs. I have a postcard and a card. You can go online and listen. I'm also on Pandora. David Lons is sort of the mentor of my type of music, and so I encourage you to get a feel for certain kinds of music and play that kind of music, and it will make you feel and change your emotions. And I've enjoyed playing tonight for all of you, and I won't be here the rest of the weekend, so if you are interested, be sure to come and stop by my table. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeanette Alexander. So what a beautiful start to the weekend. I wish we could continue to hear it because it's so relaxing. So everyone, we'll be starting around 9:15 tomorrow morning. So you want to all be here and ready. We have a full day of many speakers. Don't forget about all the booths, and there will be more tomorrow. So thank you for being part of this first night of our first annual Cure to Cancer Conference. We appreciate each and every one of you. Some of you have come from other countries, very long distances to be here. So thank you so much. Get a good night's rest, and we're going to see you all bright and early tomorrow. Thank you.